faced with making decisions from time to time, and some of them are easy and some can be really tough, and they cause us to lose sleep. Some decisions you may find that you need some help with because it gets really complicated and you have to go, this one or that one? What should I do? Somebody please help me. I recently went through this with a big decision, and I found that it was very stressful, and so I looked for strategies to help me through the process. The first thing that I found you should do is to seek advice from a friend. Now, sometimes we have friends that we actually can't trust to give us real advice, and that's because they don't want to hurt you. They're your supporters, and they know you want this, and they're thinking, you know, I don't want to say anything to hurt her, so I'm going to give her like this little fake advice. So in that case, you need to find people that you can really, those allies who will give it to you straight. They're going to say, well, you know, you have this option, but really, you know, I don't think that's good for you, because whatever variable that they think does not fit, they'll let you know. However, in those cases where you feel that all your friends are really, you know what, my friends, these are my party friends, and they're pretty much, you know, they're stupid. I don't want any advice from them. I am going to encroach upon a little method that is kind of strange, but it can be very helpful. Now, how many people had an imaginary friend, or you have children who have imaginary friends? Okay, well, we're going to use that method. We are going to pretend like we have an imaginary friend who's asking you the very same question that you're seeking advice for, and you're going to role play and provide advice to them. And you're going to be brutally honest, give it to them straight, don't be concerned about their feelings, just give it to them straight. When you're finished, you're going to apply that to your situation, and that's the advice you're going to use to help yourself. The next step I'm going to suggest is to do your research. Make sure that you evaluate the situation very thoroughly, ask questions, look up information online, and I am going to suggest that you take that information, evaluate it, create a spreadsheet, list out the pros and cons, and see if that helps you with come to a good conclusion. I will say that the spreadsheet, for me, it wasn't very good. I mean, it's good, but to do a thorough analysis, it only gives you so much, and it's like, I still don't know what I want to do here. So my next step that I thought about is to realize that any decision is reversible. So say you decide you're going to move across the country, and you get there and it sucks. You know, there's the housing small and people are mean and I hate this place. Well, you may be out of money, but you can always move back again. So be sure to realize that anything you do, short of killing yourself, is reversible. One thing to be careful of is confirmation bias. And that is when we seek information, and when you're seeking this information, everything that is already in your pre-existing belief seems to be everywhere. So you see it all over the internet, and everybody you talk to, and everything you see, and it just confirms what you already think, which could be false. So make sure that you are aware of that. Another thing is to do some introspection. Ask yourself a lot of questions. Some of the best questions, and the very first one is, what's in it for me? Be sure you ask that question and really analyze that. Also, will this decision bring me closer to my long-term goals? Some decisions you make are temporary, or you're feeling some emotion that's making you want to do this, and your emotions will lead you astray. So be sure to make sure you check those emotions before you make a decision. Another one would be, am I considering this due to pressure from others? Sometimes people pressure you into things that you really don't want to do. Like, you know, maybe they don't like you and they're saying, hey, why don't you go find another job? So don't listen to them. And the other one, and one of the biggest ones, is what's the worst outcome and can I live with it? Because some things are going to be disastrous and you may want to go kill yourself. So if you feel that way, don't do it. But one of the most valuable, important things that I found great and that really helped me was to take inventory of all your resources. And I'm talking about those tangible and intangible resources. So look at your finances, look at your liquid assets. Think about that. If you switch jobs and it goes astray, are you going to be able to survive for another 6 months until you can find another job? But also those intangibles, like what's my ability, what's my grit here? What's my ability to fight and argue? And am I able to go to work the next day and forgive this person if I have to go through that? So be sure to think about that, and remember that you are choosing to spend one resource over another. So be sure to compare that. And the biggest thing is to, when you evaluate all that, think of it as gambling. Anybody here ever been to a casino and you go in there and say, I'm only going to spend 150 bucks? Then that's where you think about it. You think of it that way, and don't gamble with anything you cannot afford to lose. Thank you.